Starting off with number 10, the royal affair. Nothing is shadier than being the mistress tangled into a high profile, and not to mention royal marriage. And even though it was not the best kept secret, I mean, even Diana knew what was going on. Camilla and Charles still tried their hardest to deny rumors about their affair. Because of her involvement with a married man, Camilla was seen as a villain long before Princess Diana and Charles filed for divorce. Additionally, she was resented up until the Princess of Wales' untimely passing in 1997. However, Camilla's life truly changed in the days following the tragedy. The Duchess of Cornwall was not specifically held accountable for Princess Diana's misfortune. After Diana's Paris car accident, they did, however, discover a newfound hatred for her greatest foe, causing Camilla to hide for months after the situation escalated. On to number 9, the worst kept secret. Diana and Charles split up in 92 and got a divorce in 96 after a publicly disastrous marriage. His open affair with Camilla, which was the monarchy's worst kept secret, was one of their main disagreements. In the infamous Panorama interview, Diana explained to Martin Bashir, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a little crowded." While still married, Diana and Charles split up and started seeing other people. Diana had a number of relationships, including heart surgeon Hasnat Khan and later the man she was dating when she passed away, Dodi Al Fayed. In the meantime, Charles remained with Camilla. The affair of Prince Charles is known to the general public. However, he and Camilla made an effort to keep their relationship a secret by attending and leaving at separate times to the same events. Charles was hard at work making big plans for Camilla's 50th birthday party. On to number 8, confrontation. As many know, Diana eventually decided to confront her husband's mistress about their affair just to let her know that she knew what was going on. The recording claims that Diana recalls Charles hurriedly running around to inquire about her plans. Sounds like Diana had the future king sweating. Diana told Camilla boldly, "I'd just like you to know that I know exactly what is going on," despite the Princess of Wales' claim that she was terrified of Camilla. By claiming that she had no idea what Diana was talking about, Camilla attempted to refute the allegation. Diana recalled Camilla saying that she had all the men in the world and everything she could ever want, to which Diana replied, "I just want my husband," when she was asked what else she could want. That's almost poetic. You can have everything, but if you don't have something important to you, it really feels like you got nothing. Strangely, Diana even apologized to Camilla for getting in the way of her and Charles, but she was still furious. I mean, you can't blame her, right? On to number 7, friendly with the mistress. Diana got along well with Camilla before she realized that her fiancé was in love with another woman. After the royal wedding, she even anticipated that she would be a part of her social circle. Diana, on the other hand, realized before she and Charles got married that despite the fact that she was married at the time, he was close to a former flame. When she saw Camilla in the church on her wedding day, Princess Diana said she wondered if she was making a mistake. And not to mention, another shady moment is Camilla attending the wedding of Charles and Diana. I mean, this relationship was just doomed from the start. Number 6, not the queen's choice. Alright, if the queen herself does not like you, let's just say that is a bright red flag. Camilla had a history that rubbed the royal family the wrong way, but she still weaseled her way into the family, convincing a lot of people that she was only using Charles for his money. The extramarital affair rocked the crown to its foundation and put the final nail in the coffin of Princess Diana and Prince Charles' strained marriage. Queen Elizabeth was furious more than anyone else, so much that the Duchess was not even allowed to enter the palace for some time. The Queen finally agreed to meet with Camilla in the year 2000 because the late monarch had refused to meet her before then. Talk about a toxic relationship between the in-laws. On to number 5, unfit for the King of England. Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla first met in the early 1970s, and the prince fell in love right away after they were introduced by friends. Penny Juror, a royal biographer, wrote in the Duchess was not in any way overawed by him not fawning or sycophantic. According to Camilla, even though they shared a strong bond, Camilla accepted the proposal from her on and off boyfriend, Andrew, after the prince was sent off with the Royal Navy in 1973. Even if things had turned out well for the two of them, the palace did not think Camilla would make a good fit for the king. She didn't come from an aristocratic family, which was very important back then. Number 4, not accepted by the stepkids. Princes William and Harry have set strong boundaries regarding the relationship with their dad's wife. Prince William made it clear that the newly appointed Queen Consort will never fill the role of his late mother, Princess Diana. Apparently, the Prince of Wales does not want Camilla trying to get close with his children, George, Charlotte, and Louis. According to William, his kids have 2 grandfathers but only 1 grandmother. It makes sense that he would want to make sure that his late mother, Princess Diana, isn't erased from the picture now that Charles is remarried. William considered her bossy, mean-spirited, and thoughtless. Yikes again, Camilla. It's like she doesn't even care to be liked by anyone other than Charles. Will was so furious to find out newspapers published a photo of Camilla planting a kiss on his father's cheek in public. The young prince saw it as a slap in the face of his mother just 4 days before what would have been her 40th birthday. Now, do you think Will is being dramatic, or is he right to try to leave Camilla out of his own family picture? Let me know what you think in the comments. And on to number 3, Harry versus Camilla. Speaking of the princes, if you've ever wondered how Harry feels about his stepmom, apparently it's somewhat complicated. Harry doesn't have great respect for Camilla and has pretty much no interest in starting a close relationship with her. I mean, obviously we aren't surprised to know King Charles's sons are not at all happy with him ditching their mom for his mistress. And Harry and William were initially very happy to welcome Camilla into the royal family because she kept in the background and didn't interfere. But then something shifted. It was revealed that part of the reason Harry and his wife Meghan fled the UK was because of racist comments Camilla allegedly made about their then unborn son Archie. Here we go again with more racist allegations. Someone needs to find a way to educate this family, honestly. According to Harry, someone speculated about what his future child would look like. In one version, Camilla made a statement saying, "Wouldn't it be funny if your child had ginger afro hair?" Camilla, you're already hated on, and adding racists to the reasons people hate you is not a good look. Harry and Meghan allegedly left the UK in part because of Camilla, not people running away to avoid her. Insiders also claimed in June that Harry was still not a fan of Camilla because he had not forgotten his late mother, Princess Diana's comments about the Queen Consort having an affair with his father. On to number 2, wearing the princess's jewelry. After finding out the famous mistress to Prince Charles wore a piece of jewelry once owned by Princess Diana, the public had new reasons to diss Camilla, and leaving us all confused on why she thought it was a good idea to make that bold decision. They may be married now, but that's still no excuse. Wearing jewelry owned by the ex-wife of your husband just feels so wrong and unhinged. People think Camilla reached a new level of disrespect by wearing what was once Princess Diana's. The emerald and diamond necklace was gifted to Princess Diana by the Queen and returned to the royal vault after Diana had tragically passed away, but recently, in 2016, Camilla was spotted wearing the piece. It was turned into a brooch, so the piece was more subtle. But it wasn't fooling anyone that Camilla was wearing what didn't belong to her. Here she goes again, taking stuff from Diana even beyond the grave. Of all the jewelry she could wear from the vaults, she decided on an extremely controversial piece. So do you think it was wrong for Camilla to wear the late princess's jewelry, or was this an attempt for the mistress to pay her respects to the late princess? And finally, number 1, the other woman. Camilla was once known as the other woman during her affair with King Charles, which later turned into a relationship and eventual marriage. Camilla has been hated on mostly because fans and supporters felt she came between Charles and the late Diana. So there's no shock Princess Diana was never a fan of Camilla. During Diana and Charles's honeymoon, Diana found love letters from Camilla to Charles on her honeymoon. Yikes. I know Charles was sleeping on the couch their whole trip after that revelation. Like, Charles, if you're gonna cheat, at least try to hide the evidence better. Finding out you're being cheated on during your honeymoon is definitely a different kind of pain. On their honeymoon, Prince Charles wore the cufflinks that Camilla had gifted him, which also upset Diana. It was also reported that a picture of Camilla slipped out of Charles's diary at that time. These were just 2 of several blatant warning signs that Charles was not in love with his wife. Anyway, what would we do without this juicy royal family drama? And also shout out Netflix's The Crown for giving us the gift of seeing a pretty good representation about this drama. Number 10, public disapproval. People all over the country have expressed their disdain for Camilla's new title as queen, and she's the latest royal to be left squirming in the spotlight of King Charles's coronation dramas. The Westminster Abbey likewise saw Camilla delegated as queen, as King Charles officially became the new ruler after the passing of Queen Elizabeth last September. However, new survey results indicate that not everyone is pleased with Camilla becoming queen, indicating that people do not agree that she should be given the title his late mother wore with pride throughout her 70-year reign. According to The Mirror, a survey of 1,500 British adults was conducted online from March 24 to 27, and only 14% of respondents thought Camilla should be called queen, while 36% thought she should be called queen consort. Another 23% believed Camilla should not have a title at all, and 16% believed she should continue to be the Duchess of Cornwall. In light of the fact that many people are now questioning the necessity of the monarchy as an institution and public body at all, it comes as members of the public have increasingly expressed their opinions following the late monarch's passing. Only 23% of respondents to the Delta Poll survey said they were in favor of a republic, and 51% said they believed Britain should still have a monarchy 50 years from now. Brits were also asked who they thought had done the most damage to the Royal Institute's reputation in recent months, and the results were damning. 43% named Prince Harry, while 46% named Prince Andrew. It was a totally different story for his alienated sibling, as 71% of those reviewed said Prince William and his significant other Kate were better examples, with 14% naming Meghan and Harry as the good examples. On to number 9, most hated. Camilla was depicted by the media as the most hated woman in Britain. Someone who could never marry Charles, let alone become queen, when Charles's first wife, the popular and glamorous Princess Diana, passed away in a car accident in Paris in 1997 at the age of 36. Charles and Diana separated in 1992 and officially divorced in 96, and Diana had blamed Camilla, who was frequently depicted as reserved and dowdy, for ruining her marriage. Camilla is frequently compared to Charles's first wife. Be that as it may, Charles and Camilla married in 2005, and from that point forward, she has come to be perceived, but hesitantly by some, as a vital individual from the illustrious family whose quieting impact on her significant other has assisted him with managing his own job. Number 8, affluent. Born Camilla Shand in 1947 into an affluent family, her father was an army major and wine merchant who married an aristocrat. She grew up on a country estate and was educated in London before going to the Montfortier School in Switzerland and then the Institut Britannique in France. She moved in social circles that brought her into contact with Charles, who she met on a polo field in the early 70s. As he dedicated himself to his naval career, Camilla went on to marry a cavalry officer, Andrew Parker Bowles. The couple had 2 children, Tom and Laura, and divorced in 1995. On to number 7, 3 of us in the marriage. Charles himself married Diana in a wedding in 1981 that enchanted not just Britain, but the world. However, despite having 2 children, William and Harry, the relationship turned sour a few years later, and the prince rekindled his romance with his former lover. The depth of their relationship was exposed to a shocked public in 1993 when a transcript of a secretly recorded private conversation was published in newspapers with intimate details, such as the prince declaring a wish to live inside Camilla's panties and being reincarnated as a tampon. In a famous TV interview the following year, Charles admitted he had resumed their affair less than 6 years after marrying Diana, but said it was only after their marriage had irretrievably broken down. However, Diana dubbed Camilla the Rottweiler and blamed her for the breakup. As her relationship with Charles collapsed, she remarked in a 1995 TV interview, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." While Diana brought glamour to the stuffy House of Windsor with her glittering gowns, many Britons could not understand why Charles would prefer the country-loving Camilla, usually pictured wearing a scarf and green waterproof riding coat. Charles was silly to risk everything with Camilla for a man in his position, Prince Philip, Elizabeth's husband, said in a letter to Diana, "I cannot imagine anyone in their right mind leaving you for Camilla." However, those close to Charles say Camilla provided him with an escape from his strict royal duties and palace upbringing like no one else did. After the breakdown of his marriage to Diana, he was said to have bought her a diamond ring and a horse and sent her daily bunches of red roses. That they loved each other was not in any doubt. In Camilla Parker Bowles, the prince found the warmth, the understanding, and the steadiness for which he had always longed and had never been able to find with any other person, Dimbleby wrote in his authorized biography. The relationship was later to be portrayed merely as a tawdry affair. For the prince, however, it was a vital source of strength to a man who had been saddened beyond words by a failure for which he invariably blamed himself. Number 6, rebuilding the image. Following Diana's passing, royal aides tasked with rebuilding the tarnished reputation of the royal family, battered by years of negative media stories about infidelities, also slowly began the task of integrating Camilla into a more public role. In the years since, criticism in the press has all but dried up as she became a firmly established member of the family, and royal watchers say her mischievous sense of humor has helped win over those who meet her. When the royal car carrying the couple was caught up in violence in London in 2010 following protests by students, and Camilla was reportedly poked with a stick through an open window. Papers praised her stoicism when she later joked, "There's a first time for everything." Nonetheless, the change marks a milestone in Camilla's decades-long road to rehabilitating her image for someone once reviled as the other woman in Charles's first marriage to Princess Diana, to a senior member largely accepted by the British public. Number 5, taking Diana's title. Camilla has never fully won widespread public affection. According to a regular YouGov poll tracker in May 2022, just 20% of respondents thought she should be queen, while 39% thought she should receive the title of princess consort. However, a poll for the Daily Mail after the queen backed her becoming queen consort suggested that 55% supported that move compared to 28% who were opposed. While many Britons have been unforgiving about any role she played in the breakup of Charles and Diana's marriage, Prince Harry indicated this was not the case with him and his older brother. "To be honest with you, she's always been very close to me and William," Harry said in an interview to mark his 21st birthday in 2005. "She's not the wicked stepmother." On to number 4, approval from the family. Camilla was viewed negatively by the royals, but Diana was received with open arms. Charles has always treated Camilla as an equal rather than an idol from the beginning. Their age gap was not as big as Charles and Diana's, who was 13 years younger. However, Camilla was not wanted by the royal family as its princess. For one thing, she was thought to be an experienced woman, which made her a no-go for the royal family when it came to finding Prince Charles a wife. In addition, she was not thought to be sufficiently aristocratic to be a princess. On the other hand, the royal family adored Diana. Diana was thought to be a good match for Charles by the queen. Diana did a great job of modeling what she thought it would be like to be a princess and worked extremely hard to gain respect. Naturally, these viewpoints spread throughout the community, further complicating the already difficult situation. On to number 3, the crown. Every photo on the monarch's Instagram is flooded with comments that say Diana forever and any other form of comment that is implying that Diana will not be forgotten. The Netflix series The Crown has brought back stories and pain that Diana experienced and has been bringing a new backlash to Camilla. Despite the fact that Camilla has repeatedly demonstrated that she is not who she is portrayed to be, The Crown's portrayal of her as the other woman in the love triangle has hurt her image. On to number 2, unfit for the king. In the early 70s, when they first met, after friends introduced them, the prince fell in love right away. Royal biographer Penny Juror claims that Camilla says she was not overawed or fawning or sycophantic. After the prince left with the Royal Navy in 1973, Camilla accepted the proposal from Andrew despite the strong bond she had with Charles. The palace didn't think Camilla would be a good fit for the king, even if things had worked out well for the two of them. And finally, number 1, Camilla became queen, but the late Prince Philip was never king. Prior to Queen Elizabeth's passing, the royal family's official website said when Camilla would officially receive the title of queen consort, she would be crowned with the king in a similar but simpler ceremony. However, Queen Elizabeth's late husband, Prince Philip, was never king. The most likely reason Philip was never crowned king is that the title may have outranked Elizabeth, as insiders Samantha Grindle and Michaela Friel previously reported.
Number 10, making her ex jealous. Camilla Parker Bowles met Andrew Parker Bowles in 1966, and despite his womanizing reputation, the 19-year-old was completely smitten. Unfortunately, the British Army officer allegedly cheated on Camilla, reportedly throughout their on-again, off-again relationship. Although the Duchess put up with her wandering boyfriend, she did have one waiting to exhale moment. According to biographer Penny Junor, Camilla saw Andrew's car parked outside the home of one of her best friends, and she let the air out of his tires. In the early 70s, Andrew began a secret, intimate relationship with Princess Anne. Camilla must have decided that when your ex is dating a princess, vandalizing his car for a second time just won't cut it. So instead, she sought revenge by dating a future king. Number 9, wedding sabotage. The Princess of Wales knew before she even walked down the aisle that Camilla Parker Bowles and Prince Charles still held deep feelings for one another, but still the wedding planning continued full steam ahead. And then a few days before their 1981 wedding, Charles hand-delivered a monogrammed bracelet that he made for his ex-girlfriend. In Diana, her true story, in her own words, Diana recalled that Charles' inappropriate gift left her devastated and in a rage. It turns out that the shady monogrammed jewelry was also Camilla's forte. Diana recounted to Andrew Morton that during her honeymoon, she noticed Charles wearing some interesting cufflinks. While getting ready for a white tie dinner, the Prince of Wales put on cufflinks that had 2 C's entwined. Diana confronted her husband, asking, "Camilla gave you those, didn't she?" The prince responded defensively, "Yes, so what's wrong? They're a gift from a friend." Number 8, Camilla Gates. Camilla was already disliked by much of the British public when Prince Charles and Princess Diana separated. And then Camilla Gates happened. The Duchess of Cornwall was mocked and vilified by the press and thoroughly loathed by Diana's supporters. In 1993, an explicit phone conversation between Camilla and the prince was leaked. The phone call, which Los Angeles Times reported was recorded by an amateur radio buff who picked it up on a high-tech scanning equipment, took place in 1989. And Camilla was also still married at that time. The call was sexual, a little odd, and very intimate. The same outlet that reported to the press maintained that the conversation lent credence to the theory that Charles and Camilla had been lovers throughout his entire marriage. Number 7, Harry versus Camilla. Speaking to the prince, if you ever wondered how Harry feels about his stepmom, apparently it's somewhat complicated. Harry doesn't have great respect for Camilla and has pretty much no interest in starting a close relationship with her. I mean, obviously we aren't surprised to know King Charles' sons are not all happy with him ditching their mom for his mistress. Harry and William were initially very happy to welcome Camilla into the royal family because she kept in the background and didn't interfere. But then something shifted, like always. It was revealed that part of the reason Harry and his wife Meghan Markle fled the UK was because of racist comments Camilla allegedly made about their then unborn son Archie. Number 6, confrontation. As many know, Diana eventually decided to confront her husband's mistress about their affair. The recording claims that Diana recalled Charles hurriedly running around to inquire about her plans. Sounds like Diana had the future king sweating. Diana told Camilla boldly, "I'd just like you to know that I know exactly what is going on," despite the Princess of Wales' claims that she was terrified of Camilla. By claiming that she had no idea what Diana was talking about, Camilla attempted to refute the allegation. Diana recalled Camilla saying that she had all the men in the world and everything she could ever want. Diana replied to Camilla, "I want my husband," when she was asked about what else she could want. That's almost poetic. You can have everything, but if you don't have something important to you, it really feels like you have nothing. Number 5, not accepted. Prince William and Harry have set strong boundaries regarding their relationship with their dad's wife. Prince William made it clear that the newly appointed Queen Consort will never fill the role of his late mother, Princess Diana. Apparently, the Prince of Wales does not want Camilla trying to get close to his children, George, Charlotte, and Louis. William considered her bossy, mean-spirited, and thoughtless. Yikes, again, Camilla. It's like she doesn't even care to be liked by anyone other than Charles. Number 4, she met the Pope looking like Princess Diana. Camilla Parker Bowles has always had the unfortunate disadvantage of being compared to Prince Charles's first wife, the late Princess Diana. The apparent similarities between the two women's wardrobes have thus long been a moment of observation for both royal watchers and royalists. Bowles has been accused of imitating Princess Diana's style on multiple occasions. Importantly, when Camilla visited the Vatican to meet Pope Benedict XVI in 2009, she went for a dark taupe, including a trim cover and pearl necklace. When Princess Diana wore a similar black dress and veil to meet Pope John Paul II in 1985. This look was compared to hers. In spite of what doubters guarantee that Camilla wearing copycat clothing, it is really the convention for the Pope's crowd to sport dark. When meeting the Pope, women typically don a modest black dress and veil. The sovereign as well, who ordinarily possibly wears dark while grieving, wore comparative luxurious when she met the Pope in 1980. Number 3, royal heirloom. It's no secret that Camilla Parker Bowles was dubbed the most hated woman in Britain by the British public and media for being the third person in Prince Charles's marriage. Though the Queen Consort has worked hard to shed that rep over the years, criticism still follows Camilla in many ways for everything she does. For example, a wave of it came her way in 2019 when Camilla sported a brooch redesigned from a diamond emerald necklace that was in Princess Diana's ownership before her passing. According to Marie Claire, Camilla wore the pin with an emerald green ensemble to celebrations marking the 50th anniversary of Prince Charles's investiture. The original ornament was a family heirloom passed down by the Queen Mother, and Diana was photographed with it across her neck at the Vienna Burr Theater in 1986. Number 2, called out for her fur hat. When the occasion calls for it, Camilla is not afraid to experiment with big, bold fashion. However, her choices don't always go over well with the public because she is constantly under scrutiny. A Russian-style cap she donned back in 2010 at the illustrious family's Sandringham Christmas Chapel gathering is a valid example. The extra hat worn by the Duchess of Cornwall at the time was supposedly made of genuine fur, which prompted outrage. The wearing of fur by our royal family, a product that is deemed too cruel to be produced in this country, fur farms were banned here in 2000. It is simply unacceptable, noted the publication's Liz Jones. But Camilla still seems to like the look. Finally, in the number 1 spot, the other woman. Diana once confronted Camilla about her affair as Charles and Camilla were casually hanging out in their palace, and Diana requested to speak to Camilla privately, to which Camilla obviously tried to act oblivious and denied the allegations. Now, what would we do without this juicy royal family drama? And also shout out to Netflix's The Crown for giving us the gift of seeing how exactly this drama may have gone down. I guess at the end of it all, Diana was right and Charles did marry Camilla, but more importantly, she's still living with the guilt of causing a rift between the late princess and her husband.
Number 10, drinking problem. King Charles is said to be on high alert regarding Camilla's drinking issues, which have gotten him into a lot of trouble. Charles had already persuaded his mother not to push him aside in favor of his son Prince William and beloved Kate, and began by describing some trust issues that exist between him and Camilla. Camilla was not satisfied with the title of Princess Consort, which Charles had promised her when they got married in 2005. She has always aspired to be queen. Her Majesty did not approve until Charles allegedly pulled out his ace card. This put Charles on red alert about Queen Camilla's excessive drinking. Before coming to a conclusion, the informant also stated he knows Camilla is a loose cannon who's fallen off the wagon many times before and caused him untold embarrassment. Number 9, Prince Harry. In his most recent memoir, Spare, Prince Harry's portrayal of his stepmother, who is now the queen consort, is perhaps the most critical. Despite the fact that Charles and Camilla had been romantically involved on and off for decades, they did get married even after Harry and William begged Charles to reconsider. Prince Harry has not forgotten that Princess Diana referred to Camilla as the third person in her marriage. Harry once said that the tabloids had portrayed her as the villain. In their union, she was the third person and needed to improve her appearance. The two brothers did not consider it necessary and thought it would do more harm than good. They still wanted their father to be happy, but they never expected them to get married. Harry stated because of the need for her to rehabilitate her image and the connections she was making within the British press, that made her dangerous. Additionally, there was a clear willingness on both sides to exchange information. Given that she was on her way to becoming queen consort and that she belonged to a family that was structured in a hierarchical manner, there were bound to be people or bodies discarded in the open. Harry claimed that Camilla and even his father used him or William to get better coverage in the tabloids for themselves. On to number 8, blindsided the princes. It's said that Harry and William were blindsided by their late grandmother's decision to approve of Camilla's title as queen consort. According to royal expert and author Christopher Anderson, the decision was driving a wedge within the royal family. Here's hoping that everyone got over it. Although it is said that William and Harry are now friendly with Camilla, Prince Charles, their father, has a long history of having an affair with her in the 80s and 90s while he was still married to their mother, Princess Diana. In the end, Charles and Diana split up in 92, divorced in 96, and then Charles tied the knot with Camilla in 2005 after Diana passed away in a tragic car accident in 97. According to Anderson, who spoke with the publication, she was begrudgingly letting him do this, and one of the key elements was he promised Camilla would never be called queen consort. Her Majesty was miserable during Charles's second marriage ceremony. He says the late queen was skeptical about Camilla when she married Charles, and the circumstances were certainly challenging. However, through her dedication and loyalty to the firm, she has more than proved to her that she has what it takes. Camilla grew closer to Elizabeth, upped her game, and accepted additional responsibilities willingly. Number 7, other royals. Camilla was viewed negatively by the royals, but Diana was received with open arms. Beadle Smith claims that Charles has always treated Camilla, who was Charles's age at the time, as an equal rather than an idol from the beginning. However, Camilla was not wanted by the royal family as its princess. For one thing, she was thought to be an experienced woman, which made her a no-go for the royal family when it came to finding Prince Charles a wife. In addition, she was not thought to be sufficiently aristocratic to be a princess. On the other hand, the royal family loved Diana. Diana was thought to be a good match for Charles by the queen. May she rest in peace. Shernock asserts she was very much a hit with the royal family. They really warmed up to her. Diana did a great job of modeling what she thought it would be like to be a princess, worked extremely hard to gain respect, and Camilla kind of having a hard time living up to that. On to number 6, Harry's point of view. In Harry's memoir, Camilla makes the list of things he brings up. I haven't read the memoir yet, so this could very well be the case, but Burrell said Harry might feel the need to speak out about Camilla because she broke up his parents' marriage. He'll probably elaborate on how he felt following his mother's death and the events that followed. After reports that she was a part of his parents' marriage and then took Diana's place as Charles's wife, I think he would be interested in Camilla, so I would say that Harry is ready to reveal any secrets about Camilla. The former royal staffer stated he's already said he enjoys the crown, which painted Camilla as the wicked stepmother. Burrell also said that Harry's father would be livid if anything negative about Camilla was to be said. On to number 5, the public reaction. King Charles's second wife, Camilla, is unlikely to be forgiven for her role in the breakdown of the Wales marriage because of Diana's legacy, which has won her a new generation of admirers. In the early 90s, when Charles appeared to confirm rumors that he had been having an affair during an interview with Jonathan Dimbleby in 1994, Camilla became a person of interest to the British press. Charles stated that Camilla had been a friend for a very long time and will continue to be a friend for a very long time following a conversation about her. The sovereign conceded to being dedicated to Diana just until his marriage had hopelessly separated. There's a lie if I've ever seen one. Anyway, Diana herself stated on BBC's Panorama that there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded when confronted with the question of whether Camilla had been directly involved in the breakdown of her marriage in later 1996. Susanna Reid, host of Good Morning Britain, suggested in the beginning of the discussion that the British public had moved past their negative feelings toward Camilla in the 90s following her 2005 marriage to Charles and seamless integration into the royal family. Number 4, the impact of Diana's passing. Commentators were almost unanimous in their belief that Charles would never marry Camilla, even if she had been his love of his life. Despite the national outrage and finger-pointing over Diana's passing, at the time, 2/3 of respondents to a television poll said that Charles should not be allowed to become king if he married Camilla. He had been seeing her since the middle of the 1980s, and after passing, one mourner said Camilla should leave the country as she laid flowers outside the princess's house. None of this would have happened without the mistress. The public seemed to point the finger directly at Camilla and label her the mistress who caused this. The crown has brought Diana's experiences and pain back to life, sparking a new backlash against Camilla. Every photo on the monarch's Instagram was filled with comments saying Diana forever, and other comments that suggest Diana will not be forgotten. On to number 3, Prince William's thoughts on her. Since their marriage, Camilla has remained a prominent member of the royal family. However, her stepchildren, Princes William and Harry, have maintained strict boundaries regarding their relationship. Angela Levine, a royal author, says that Prince William has made it very clear that the new queen consort will never be his late mother, Princess Diana. Camilla was also direct about how his children were with Camilla. William made it clear that Camilla is the wife of his father, but not a step-grandmother to his children. The royal couple's 3 children are aware that they have 2 grandfathers, but only 1 grandmother. She went on to say William and Harry were respectively 20 and 23 when Camilla became their stepmother officially in 2005. She was more of a sociable adult that they occasionally saw at royal events. Camilla had never assumed any responsibility for the children of the Cambridges, especially considering the closeness of Catherine's parents, Carol and Michael Middleton. On to number 2, social media trolls. The hateful posts about Camilla on social media have caused royal accounts to stop accepting comments. Camilla, you are hated by everyone. On a picture of Camilla, one Instagram user wrote, Princess Diana forever. The majority, it appears, remain on Team Diana today. Following the Netflix series The Crown, a comment was made, the Netflix television show is nothing more than that. 3 people, including the children, suffered as a result of Charles and Diana's arranged marriage. Although television shows don't always accurately depict history because they focus primarily on entertainment, Camilla's actor's portrayal of her family may have given viewers a taste of what had been going on all along. And on to number 1, mental health concerns. Diana faced so many problems during her time as a working royal, and it even took a toll on her mental health, causing bulimia among other health issues. Working with the royal family has seemed to cause a great deal of stress to Diana and even other royal members. Now, being Charles' second wife who did not have the public approval of the same way Diana did, do you think her transition into becoming queen consort is gonna be easy for her considering the amount of people who still do not approve of her? But anyway, that is all for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more juicy royal updates and news on your favorite celebrities. I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.